Do you have any other advice for parents in general?
Yeah, and so I think
because I know that could be a whole.
I think that gymnastics account, there needs to be a relationship with gymnast and parent, so that they're both monitoring it, especially when you're opening up privacy options.
Of course, yeah.
You're letting you want coaches to see these accounts, but you've also let the entire world see this account.
Right.
And now if you're going to open up the messaging aspect of it, you want college coaches to be able to message you, and you want to be able to reply and start a conversation, and then share more personal information like cell numbers. But you've also opened that up to everybody. So I think there needs to be some parent involvement with that.
Of course.
You can then have a personal Instagram account where you post and you share all that stuff, and you can make that private and keep all those private.
Yeah.
But probably keep it at more of a professional level with the gymnastics one.
Of course.
For gymnastics and recruiting activity, in my opinion.
Right.
And then that does lead me to your personal account, because absolutely I'm going to try to click over there and see your personal site. And number one, did you make it public? Did you make it private? If you made it public, I'm going to scroll through it. I'm going to see what pictures are on there, what activities you're doing. I'm going to make a snap judgment about you and make a decision. Do I want to learn more about you and explore recruiting you, or do I want to move on?
Right.
And there are times where I go and see pictures and events, and I just go, no, we're going to move on. We're not going to bother with this kid.
Even if the gymnastics is great.
Even if the gymnastics is good.
So that's a really good point to stick to, because there's probably a common thought out there, and maybe every school is different, but there's probably a common thought out there that if the gymnastics is phenomenal, it won't matter. And I really try to harp on some of the character of the athletes, because after all, we're talking about sports. We're talking about youth sports first and foremost, and we're talking about how this is helping you become a great human being, a great adult, a great citizen, just in general, right? So how, on your end, how important is that back? I was going to ask, what are the factors that factor into being fit for a school, but that kind of ties into it. How much is the things outside of gymnastics, how much do they factor into your decision-making process?
Well, it all depends on your university, your coaching philosophy, and your coaching style. And mine is very conservative. We're a religious institution.
Right.
And so your brand needs to kind of mirror our brand a little bit.
Right.
And so, we do take that into consideration. And gymnastics just does not trump that. I mean, for us, we need a good fit.
Right.
My best advice to you and the audience out there right now is just make your personal account private. Just make it private. Share that with your close friends, and you can do all that stuff behind a wall, and the whole world doesn't need to see it. But if you do make it public, then everyone can see it again, right. And you open yourself up
to judgment. Yeah.
To judgment, to criticism. It's a little unfair that I'm making snap judgments on a kid I've never met, I've never talked to. I just move on.
Right.
So,
but it is the world we live in, and again, I think it's important to be realistic.
Yeah, you got to look at yourself. You're going to be a brand ambassador to that coach and to that university.
That's a great point.
And you want your brand to mirror their brand. And so you see that in the professional world, right?
Right.
Like you have to, if you're going to represent Nike, what kind of personal lifestyle do you need to match to be a Nike athlete?
Right.
So that's no different than changing the school's name or the coach's name. You are a part of that brand. You are a brand ambassador to that university. That's such a great point. So you have to kind of start thinking that way. That's such a great point.
Back to the parent aspect. Aside from the parents being a safeguard to that gymnastics public account, anything else that you have to like as advice for parents that have 9 and 10 athletes? If a parent is watching this and their daughter is incredibly gung-ho about this school and not getting any replies, and they're watching their even though they might have heard this already, they're watching their daughter get really beat up about the fact that she's not getting any replies. What do you like? Are there any things that parents can do, or are there things that parents do that they shouldn't be doing because they're it doesn't look good on you guys, and also for parents to act in a certain way? What are the advice that you have for parents overall?
Well, first of all, parents need to be mom and dad. They need to have that love and unconditional support of that athlete. And then I would say a lot of this recruiting stuff, the gymnastic skills, selection, the videos can be athlete and coach. And the parents need to be the parent. They need to hug, not criticize. They need to be there as a support. Now, when it is time to start looking at schools, I think clearly they need to be a part of those discussions. Again, distance from home. What is the school like? What is the school atmosphere like? Is it a party school? Is it a party scene? Is it more conservative? How does that fit your family's lifestyle? And those parents need to be a part of that discussion. So, you're talking about two different things. How do I get noticed by a college? How do I get, recruited by a college? And then if I'm being recruited by several colleges, which one do I pick? And so they're two different things that parents need to be a part of. The recruiting part, I think, needs to be let the coach, let the gymnast work on that. Follow the advice I just gave, using safeguards with social media.
Of course.
Camps might be another great way to get the foot in the door, but you can't come to camp and just goof around. It's audition.
How often do you get parents emailing for the kids?
I rarely get parents
that's great.
emails. Yeah,
that's great.
That is not a typical thing that I've ever seen. I will get emails from a coach.
Okay.
For a particular athlete. That does help. So.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, that's a great way to get an endorsement from a coach.
Great.
To say, hey, coach to coach, this is my athlete. Love for you to get to know them a little bit more. Here's my contact information. If you want to reach out, set up a phone call.
That's a great. That's great.
That's a great way. That's a great way. Dad calls me or mom sends me an email. Hey, love you to talk to you about my daughter. I'm not gonna follow up with that.
Perfect.
So I think
know your role.
Yeah, recruiting really needs to be coach and athlete. Parents need to be mom and dad, love and support. Now selecting a school, 1,000%, mom and dad need to be a part of that.
Great. It makes me feel really good that it's very rare, because I think on the club gymnastics we see a lot of parents micromanage the things that their athletes are doing, even though they're level 3, level 4, so young, and they're micromanaging everything. So it actually makes me really happy to know that there's something is happening on the top end that is it makes it a lot less likely that a parent will take over still, which is a great relief on my end actually.